Today's topic is transportation. In previous class we learned about during digestion the nutrients are supplied to the cells. During respiration the gases are supplied to the cells. Okay, how do they supply? There is a means of transport for that. So let us discuss about the transportation of materials in the body, in the living things. There are unicellular and multicellular organisms. Unicellular, there is no organ systems since they are single cells. For example, we see amoeba. So amoeba gets the food through the pseudopodium and the food enter into the body. So in the cytoplasm, the food molecules should move from one place to another place. So how do they scatter in the cytoplasm? By a simple process, that is a diffusion. Diffusion process. Diffusion is a very slow process. Even osmosis also. They are very slow process. They move from high to low concentration. So in unicellular, transportation takes place through diffusion process. What about multicellular? Multicellular. We are the multicellular. Our body have the millions of cells. How do the materials like solids, gases and the liquids transportation takes place in the multicellular? For that there is a particular organ systems are there. The nutrients are transported to the cell from digestive system. The gases are transported to the cells from respiratory system. What do supply? What do supply the gases from lungs to cells? Blood. Isn't it? Blood. So here the blood acts as a means of transport. So multicellular organisms develop a particular system for the transportation of material, unlike unicellular. The transportation system is the circulatory system. Circulatory system. The circulatory system is diverse in multicellular. In lower multicellular, system is very simple. In higher multicellular like humans, circulatory system is very complex. So let us focus on the circulatory system in human beings. In human beings, circulatory system includes various parts like heart, blood vessels, and blood. These three constitute the circulatory system in the human beings. Have you listened the heartbeat? Have you listened your heartbeat? Yes, sir. What is the importance of heart? It pumps the blood throughout the body. If the heartbeat stops, blood circulation stops, organism cannot survive. So that's why to understand the circulatory system in humans, first you have to know the internal structure of heart and external structure also. Before that, let us see some activities to understand the role of heart. When you go to the doctor, first what he do? He hold your hands and just put his fingers just below your thumb. His ring finger and index finger just below the thumb. You press. You do the same. Just put your index finger and ring finger just below the thumb. What do you feel? Is something pushing your fingers or not? Yes, sir. That is also rhythm. There is a rhythmatic movement. The rhythmatic movement that you feel is a pulse. That is the pulse. So what is that pulse? How the pulse is created? That pulse is created by heart. But is the heart in hands? No. It located in between the lungs. But in action we can feel in the hands. That is because of the blood vessels which are supplied throughout the body. Here there is here you have to do one activity. The pulse rate of various people. Just you count your pulse per minute when you are rested. Next, count your pulse immediately after doing physical exercise. What will happen? Is the pulse rate increase or not?
Yes, sir.
So why the pulse rate increase when you are doing physical exercise? The heartbeat also increase.
Blood vessels transport fast.
Yeah. So pulse rate increase to coordinate with respiration. You know, we need more energy when you are doing physical exercise. For that, excess amount of carbon dioxide should be supplied. So oxygen should be supplied. So oxygen is supplied through the blood. That's why heartbeat increase. Next one, heartbeat. Let us see about heartbeat. How do doctors see the heartbeat? Which instrument they use? Stethoscope. The help of stethoscope. You can make your own stethoscope. Just you take a mastic and a button. Insert the mastic in the button and put just below the thumb. You can see the rhythmic movement. That will be useful to count the pulse also. So this stethoscope which is crucial to know the heartbeat, first invented by René Laennec. The scientist René Laennec. So René Laennec invented the stethoscope. He is a French physician. First he made with a paper. You can also make your own stethoscope. Just take a paper which 10 centimeters length. Just make a tube with 1 inch diameter. That you can use a stethoscope. Keep one end on the chest of your friend and keep your ear on the other end. In childhood you may play the games with 2 paper cups. The 2 paper cups joined with a thread. So that is also a stethoscope. So Laennec also made with the paper. Later he made different types of stethoscope with a different material like bamboo. Now you are having a developed stethoscope which can give the accurate heartbeat per minute. Your heartbeat also different when you are rest and when you are in a physical exercise or feeling fear or excited. A different count will come. You compare the pulse rate per minute and heartbeat per minute in different situations. And finally you can understand that the heartbeat and pulse rate are similar. So this heartbeat keeps the organisms alive. So where do the heart located? Yeah, between the lungs. And it is protected by rib cage. If you press here, you can feel the rib cage. It protects the lungs and heart. So now let us see the structure of the heart. When you see the heart externally, it is covered with the membranes. There are two membranes which covering the heart. Those are called pericardial membranes. Pericardial membranes. And between the two pericardial membranes there is a fluid that is called pericardial fluid. Pericardial fluid. This one protects the heart from external shocks. It absorbs the external shocks and protect it. And you can, if you observe the goat heart in the lab activity, you can see some grooves on it. Grooves. The grooves divide the heart internally into chambers. You see here, there are branches of vessels. Actually, they are blood vessels. Heart pumps the blood to all body parts, but heart also need blood for its work. How do it receive the blood? There are separate blood vessels. They are called coronary blood vessels. Coronary. If you observe external heart, goat heart, you can observe that linings of coronary blood vessels. They supply heart, supply the blood to the muscles of the heart. And there are some tubes connected to the heart. They are blood vessels actually. Some are rigid blood vessels are there. The lumen is narrow in some blood vessels. Some have the large lumen. Let us see the internal structure of heart. Internally. As I said, internally the heart is divided into 4 chambers. The lower side are called posterior chambers, upper side is called anterior chambers. The anterior chambers are called auricles. Posterior chambers are called ventricles. When you study the heart, you have to divide it into right and left. This is the right side of the heart. This is the left side of the heart. So this is the right auricle. This is the left auricle. This is the right ventricle. This is the left ventricle. Here, auricles and ventricles are separated by a muscular valve. That is the septum. Auricular ventricular septum. That divide the chambers. In the right side chambers, space is less when compared to left side. Why do left side chambers are large? Means they have to supply the blood throughout the body. That's why they are large and the walls also thick. Okay, next valves. Valves which work like doors, which regulate the blood flow inside the heart. So in the left side and right side and left side valves are there. The valves between the right auricles and right ventricles are called as tricuspid valves. 2 types of valves here. Tricuspid. So where do they are present? Right auriculoventricular septum. Because as I said, the septum is divided, the chambers. The septum between the right auricle and the right ventricle is called right auriculoventricular septum. In shortcut I am writing right auriculoventricular septum. In the left side, between the left auricle and the left ventricle, there are valves. They are called bicuspid valve. Bicuspid. Present between left auriculoventricular septum. left auriculoventricular septum. It's also known as a mitral valve. Mitral valve. So bi means two valves are there, tri means three valves are there. So these valves regulate the blood flow between the auricles and the ventricles. Next, let us see the blood vessels. What are the different types of blood vessels that are connected to the heart? As I said, two types of blood vessels are there. There are arteries and veins. Arteries and veins. Here in artery, two types of arteries you can see. Those are the largest artery called aorta. Aorta. Here the aorta is connected to the left ventricle. Connected to left ventricle. So another type of artery is pulmonary artery. The pulmonary artery is connected to the right ventricle. Understand? Aorta to left ventricle, pulmonary arteries to right ventricle. And next one, veins. Veins. Here let us see the different types of veins. Usually, veins carry the blood to the heart. And some veins carry the blood from the lungs to the heart. Okay? Two types. One type of veins carry the blood from body parts to heart. Another type carry the blood from lungs to heart. So the veins that bring the blood from body parts to heart are two types. They are superior veins and inferior veins. Superior veins means they bring the blood from the superior veins carry the blood from anterior part of the body. That means the head and neck. Understand? So the superior veins carry the blood from anterior parts, head and neck. And the second one is inferior. So inferior veins carry the blood from posterior body parts. That means below the neck. The superior vena cava, it's also known as precaval vein. And inferior vena cava, it's also known as postcaval vein. So all the veins which bring the blood from body parts are connected to the right auricle. Right auricle. So another type of vein is pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein. The pulmonary vein bring the blood from lungs and it is connected to the left auricle. Okay, this is about blood vessels. About valves, in the valves, one more type of valves also you can observe. So between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery, valves are there. Those are pulmonary valves. At the same time, between the left ventricle and aorta, valves are there. They are called systemic valves. So total 4 types of valves: tricuspid valves, bicuspid valves, pulmonary valves, systemic valves. You have to remember the location of these 4 types of valves. And you have to remember the blood vessels and their location also you have to remember. Then you can easily study the internal structure of the heart. If you observe here, there are white color thread-like structures are there. So they are connected to the valves. They are called cardia tendinae. Cardia tendinae. So these cardia tendinae fibers keeps the valves in their position. Understood? Once let us see the blood vessels. Study the blood vessels for easy understanding. See, aorta. Aorta is the largest blood vessel in the body. So it supplies the blood from left ventricle to body parts. Left ventricle to body parts. And what type of blood means oxygenated blood? That means purified blood. Next, pulmonary artery. Second type of artery is pulmonary artery. So it supplies the blood from right ventricle to lungs. It supplies the deoxygenated blood. Next, veins. So superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava from anterior body parts to right ventricle. Okay? Inferior vena cava, posterior, that means lower body parts to right ventricle. Next, pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein. It carries the blood from lungs. So which blood it carries? Oxygenated blood. Understand? Just you see the pathway. Just you see the pathway. The pulmonary vein, the pulmonary vein carries the oxygenated blood to the left auricle. In the lungs, due to gaseous exchange, blood is purified. Oxygen is added, carbon dioxide is removed. So whenever the carbon dioxide removed, that is oxygenated blood. So from lungs, that oxygenated blood is carried to the left auricle through the pulmonary vein. So from left auricle, the blood enters the left ventricle through the bicuspid valves. From left ventricle to the blood enter into the aorta through the systemic valves. Aorta supplies the blood to all body parts. So in body parts, what happens? The oxygen is taken, carbon dioxide is added. Now the blood becomes deoxygenated. What is that? Deoxygenated. You see, when you observe sometimes on your hand the green color blood vessels appear. In male you can see mostly. They are veins they are actually. So deoxygenated blood is in dark red color. So from body parts, that deoxygenated blood is first taken to the heart by the superior and inferior vena cava to the right auricle. From right auricle it enters the, what is this? Right ventricle. Right ventricle through tricuspid valve. From right ventricle, the deoxygenated blood is supplied to the lungs. Which blood vessel supply the deoxygenated blood? Pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. Okay? So here, let us see once valves and their locations. So what is the valve between the right auriculoventricular septum? Tricuspid valve. What is the valve between left auriculoventricular septum? Bicuspid valve. What is another name of bicuspid valve? Mitral valve. Okay? Mitral valve. Next you see here. What is the valve between the left ventricle and aorta?
Pulmonary wall.
No. Left ventricle and aorta. Systemic valve. Systemic valve. What is the valve between right ventricle and pulmonary artery? Pulmonary valve. So what they do? They open and close, and by the way they regulate the movement of the blood. In cardiac cycle topic, you learn more about this function of these valves and how do they regulate the blood movement. Understand?